may just advocate that you should seek the proper help. It's only when issue of abuse is involved that's when one can begin to talk about maybe judicial separation to see if you can get some help and assistance and all that. If there is violence, but if there is no violence, issues that borders on money, that borders on other issues, I believe there are things that can still be discussed, and with the proper guidance and support, help people can still receive help in that regard. Also, as for those that are already divorced, it's not the end of life. Unlike some people that erroneously believe that if you are divorced, you will not go to heaven. There is nothing like that. It's not in the Bible. It's not biblical. Somebody may be divorced, and that does not mean that one cannot start life again. So it's not the end of life. For anyone that has suffered a broken home, you can still get it right. But don't be desperate. Don't be desperate into entering into a relationship, because most men have they are opportunists. A number of them are just trying to take advantage of somebody's condition. Some of them will just come around. A woman was sharing that a man would just come. The man was even taking the little she even had from her. So there are people like that they want to compound issues for someone. So if somebody is divorced or somebody is having issues or challenges in relationship, it's good for you to get the right support that you need. In some cases, you may even need to do a self-discovery. If I may be allowed to digress a little, I have a client who was married for 22 years, and then she didn't have children. Along the way, she had, she developed some health issues. She had heart problem because the man left her after 22 years of marriage. She was the one that was responsible for everything in the house because she was well to do. She had properties and all that, and the man was just he wasn't.
Please forgive me. I know that Timmy she's going to cane me after this live for interrupting this way.
Okay.
But because I know this audience very well, and because Mr. Olufonshaw mentioned that he's actually on the road or something like that, so I want, sir, I want your time here to count. See, the women on this live, they are not your typical women. Whoa, wow, okay, then you understand what I mean? I'm Yoruba too. So, when they were told that a lawyer is going to come on the live, what they are expecting is they have all these questions about, if my husband is in debt and I have to leave him, will I be held accountable for those debts? Like, they have such specific questions. As much as what you are saying is helpful, these women, they are not hearing you, and we know that your time is money. Me, I always tell women that lawyers are expensive. Yeah. So every second, every minute that you spend with us here, to me, is like money. And if these women are not listening, it's like that money is being wasted. So they are not. They are not trying to make it work. They just want to know how they are protected under the law is what they are waiting to hear. I know that some of them from their comments now, they are already tuning you out.
It's all right. Okay, I can respond to that. I wasn't actually reading through the comments. It's okay. Thank you. I've seen one or two questions now. Let me just respond to them. When there is a transaction, because any form of, before somebody can say there is a debt, obviously.
Okay, I think let me just come in, right, so that we go accordingly. What I want to know is I want us to start from relationship, then cohabitation, then marriage, then divorce, then separation. I want us to go accordingly, right? So
all right.
The first thing is,
I will just okay.
Okay, so the first thing is I want to know, if somebody is just in a relationship with somebody, they are not married, they are not engaged, they've not done anything legal, right? So whether it's introduction, I still consider it you're just in a relationship. There's no any legal document binding you guys together, right? So at that point, are there any legal attachments that if that relationship were to come to an end, right, can somebody sue the other for something, anything at all? Because I've had can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tofumi. I don't know, can Mr. Olufunsho, can you hear me? Is it my network? I don't know if you people can hear. Can you guys hear me? Mojola, hi. Don't worry about it. I'm also live on TikTok, so there are people over on TikTok. Yes, Mojola, I'm in Nigeria. I'm Plateau.
Your brother's wife's sister, your in-law, you can also marry. You can't there are some you can't marry your sister. You can't marry your younger brother, your younger brother. People that you are related by blood or by marriage that is so close. The law in Nigeria does not allow for that. So that such a
So
marriage
sorry.
is
I'm
void.
so sorry. Can you guys fill me in? I wasn't getting anything. My network was bad, so I had to change the network.
Yeah. Yeah, their network was okay. Their network was okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's talking about void marriage. That the marriage is void. Have been issue from the beginning itself. Maybe even when so other grounds that can make a marriage to be voidable. When it's voidable is when you now go before the even when a man is not a man cannot perform, so to say, he doesn't have the ability to do. and then he knows himself and he deceives a woman, goes into marriage, such a marriage is simply is a void marriage, because he already knows that the consent was obtained by, by misrepresentation. He has presented himself as someone that has the ability to do. So if the woman wants to, because even in law, legally speaking, consummation of marriage is a factor in law. When you are married to somebody, if you are able to consummate the marriage, that's when there is marriage. If you cannot consummate the marriage, it forms a basis. That's what do you call it? You can come under that ground to to challenge the marriage, and the court will make a pronouncement on that. The fact that a man cannot produce.
Sorry, I will soon be away, so I will stop. My interruptions will stop soon, but a lot of us here, we are not lawyers and we don't know English too much like that. Consummate, just to clarify, consummate does not
having
mean
sex.
Had a child. It means having sex.
Wait, hello, you are the one, you just interjected me. That was the point I was going to explain now.
Okay.
That the marriage does not produce a baby. It is not a grant for the solution. If a man cannot perform, that is.
You guys can write questions down in the comment section. I'll be writing the questions so that we can ask him, so we don't.
And if a lady is married, maybe from the night they were married, the lady is not ready for the man to do the needful. The lady is not allowing the man to touch her. As long as they are not able to consummate the marriage, the man too can go to court. Either of them. So the fact that there is no child between the couple, either the man or the woman, is not a basis for dissolution in law. It's not a basis. What the law requires is that the man is able to perform. So whether the thing can produce or not, it's not an issue before the law. So that one cannot come before the law. I don't know if that one is clear.
Yes. This laws now, is it in Nigeria? We're talking about Nigerian law, you guys. Today is Nigeria. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about Ghana as well. Although he has
It's okay.
I'm correct, right? Barrister, am I correct?
I don't know much about Ghana.
Okay, no, I said tomorrow. No, there's another lawyer that is coming tomorrow. She is Ghanaian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Because most of my audience are Nigerians, Ghanaians, and then people in the UK, and then Canada.
I think somebody asked a question. We want to hear what. Okay. Okay, I think somebody's question we can take them much later. Generally, these two questions together.
Okay.
So, the reason for somebody to approach the court is that the marriage has broken down irretrievably. That is the basis on which you approach the court. That with all effort that they made, the marriage can no longer work. So, unlike in the UK now, the law they passed last year in the UK is saying that you don't even need to give any reason. If you just wake up, you don't just feel like seeing this man. That's enough reason in the UK now. But we don't have anything like that in law in Nigeria. The position of law in Nigeria is that you must have a reason for which you want to challenge. Some because of adultery, some because of bigamy. A man has contracted another marriage. While seeing a subsisting marriage, it's a grant in law. Some, when you talk about this beating, being abusive, and all that stuff, even cheating and many other issues, these are issues that will warrant somebody to approach the court if someone can no longer, cope with such. So, and the court will entertain such matter, and the court will make a pronouncement when the proper reliefs are made before the court. I don't know if I made some sense. If there is anything on marriage, the law, we have MC, Matrimonial Causes Act, and the Marriage Act. Those are the two major laws in Nigeria supporting marriage. Customary marriage is recognized by law. Marriage under the Act, that we call church marriage or court marriage, is recognized by law. However, the one that enjoys the backing of the statutes is marriage under the Act, which is why when a man or a woman, when both of them are married under the Act, there is a privilege that is conferred on the two of them. In some cases, a man may die without making a will. a woman also might die before or without making a will. If they are married under the act, what will apply to their estates is the marriage matrimonial causes act. That is what the law will follow. That's where the issue of uh, obtaining letter of administration will come in. You know, the surviving spouse with the children and all that. So the hierarchy, you know, the people that can push because they are all listed under the matrimonial causes act. So me, I strongly recommend, especially for our own part of the world, Nigeria, I encourage our women to, you know, be married under the act. Like in the case of my mom now, she was just a young woman. She didn't know much of her right back then. But you know, in our days, if you are to be in our days, they were married under the act, you know, but she didn't really know much of her right because all the property my father left, you know, everything. She couldn't be on anyone because she was young, you know, back then now, the uncles, the husband family would just come and take everything. But in our days now, to protect the interest of the children, because why will you labor? At the end of the day, your children cannot even live in your house. You can't even ride your car. Somebody who has labored, you know, somebody else will now come and take over. It's about now, brother, get the house. So it's good for men to marry under their. It's something I advocate. As long as you can trust yourselves, when there is trust between the two of you, what do you have that does not belong to your wife? So if there is trust, there is love, there is mutual understanding, it is good for the parties to be married under the house, as long as there is oneness. So because of that, it's more advantageous than just marrying under the customs and traditions. Because when a man is married when a man subscribes to customs and traditions, if he dies in the state, what follows is that is the of his estate. In some cases, the wife and children will not inherit anything. They will be left out. You know, up to now, there are still traditions that will not allow a lady, a male child, a female child to inherit her father's estate. We say have such laws in Nigeria. Whereas if a man is married under the act takes care of stuff like that. A daughter counts, benefits from the estate of her father if they are married under the act. So we should not. It's not something that we can wave aside. So we should encourage as much as possible people, to marry under the act because of the interest of the children and interest of the parties too. Because if a woman has labored and suffered to build a house with the husband, at the end of the day, somebody in the village just come and sack them and they have them, driven out. It's not palatable. The host, my practice in law is a very wide one in Nigeria. Talk of many areas of law in Nigeria. So if they are bringing questions on different areas, talk of immigration, copyright, patents, so many areas. So I have a very wide coverage, including property. So any question they want to ask.
Okay. I'm not even interested because that one is something that I just want women-man relationship. Honestly, today that's just what I want us to focus on, right? Because at the end of the day, that's where I feel like it's like women can always access a lawyer for maybe talking about properties, but when it comes to relationship issues, I feel like they don't even know that they are supposed to involve lawyers. I usually promote the idea of women speaking to a lawyer. In fact, I promote speaking to a divorce lawyer before you even get into serious relationship.
So I understand what you are saying.
Yeah.
Some go into relationship now and then decide. So I understand what you are saying.
Yeah.
Some go into relationship now and then decide some agreement before they even consider getting married at all. So that your property is your own, my own property is my own. Not that something will happen and the other party will want to take advantage of the other one. So I quite understand. But given our country, how many people have the means to contact a lawyer? How many people you got to pay for consultation of a lawyer, except if it's your family friend or someone close to you? To even book an appointment with a lawyer, you'll have even made some payment for consultation and all that. So somebody that is struggling to find a bearing, it may not be so easy.
I understand, and especially considering women get married at such an early age where a lot of them are not financially stable and all that, right? So I feel like that's why we organized this particular session, so that those questions that they could have asked their lawyers is what we are trying to address, so that even if they may not necessarily get the whole thing right, considering their, like within their own relationship, but at least let them have a certain idea and know that okay, if I'm getting married now, this is what I'm going to expect. If I'm getting divorced or separated, this is what I'm going to expect. If I'm getting into a relationship, these are the legal implications, right? So I think we
Yeah.
have so many questions even already, so let's just dive
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, basically, it's possible for parties to agree as to what they are expected to do in the relationship, even before marriage. I know of somebody years back, though he said he meant it that time. He was getting married to a lady, and then he asked her, where are you going to stay after marriage? That was what the man asked the wife. Both of them are in Nigeria. So, and the man was asking the wife, I want to continue to stay where you were staying, while me, I'll move to another place. The man said nothing like that. The man said he's not ready to start spending money on two people and all that. So there are men that are selfish. I've seen a man that will take a pot of soup and lock it up in his own room. I do a man that takes pure water and lock it up in his room. When the children, they are hungry, he'll come and make tea for them, make tea for the wife. There are things I can't be saying here now, that issues I've had to
I've actually had
intervene.
such issues before. So there's this particular situation that made me want to ask this question, right? Somebody got into a relationship with a lady and he promised her marriage and he failed. Does she have the right within, is there anything, is there provision for her to sue that man?
Yeah, if there is a promise to marry, provided you can substantiate that, something about love is about evidence.
Yes. So what kind
As
of
long as
evidence, would she need for her to have a legit case?
the man has been sending you voice notes. I
Okay.
love you. I will do this for you. I will do that for you. The
Okay.
man has been sending text messages to you. He has sent you mails. He was even paying for. He even rented a place for you and promised to buy a house for you. Promised to do this. All those promises, all those things. As long as you have them, as long as they are kept, they are your evidence against him. If you are going to court, because the court will only pronounce on what is tendered, in evidence. So if you have such information, why not? You will definitely get some relief. We call it prayers in law.
Okay.
You want him to pay you, because one of the, I can remember now, some of the things that we normally say is you have a claim for loss of time, because if a man was engaged to you for 5 years, he has taken 5 years of your life that you can never recover again. So those 5 years, you have dedicated your life and time to another lady, another man, or maybe you will have been married to another person. So a loss of time, in some cases, if you have lost other things too, you make claim. Some ladies, they commit abortion for the man when the man is not ready and all that. There are things you can claim, even some medical bills and all that. So, but you must have your evidence.
So in this situation now, what is the compensation? Is it that the man gets to go to prison or he pays you monetarily? What is the compensation?
If he goes to prison, how would that one benefit you?
Okay, so
going to prison, somebody only goes to prison when a crime is committed.
Okay.
Maybe the man was violent, maybe he raped you. That's a criminal matter. When it's civil matter, what you're asking for is monetary compensation or another of the court compelling him to do certain things. Maybe you can get what we call injunction, an order to restrain him from doing certain things or compelling him to do certain things. Those are the things that you can seek under the civil. We have criminal action and we have civil actions. So in this case, you're filing
the civil
is a civil action, not a criminal action.
Okay, thank you very much.
In cases, you can maintain both civil and criminal action together, depending on the nature. So, but the matter has to be deciphered, and the lawyer will not know what to do.
Okay. Okay, I have a very important question, right? But I think I'll ask that last. The next question is, in a case of a divorce, can the woman force? Can the woman is there anything that puts both the man and the woman under duress to have shared custody? Can they force shared custody?
You know something about custody is the court will look at the ability of the parties. A number of factors come to play when custody is sought. Now, if a man is working and he has the means, he has the resources to look after the kids, and the wife has been a full housewife before, the court may be inclined to grant the man, because the man, he has the means, financial means. If at all he's not even staying at home, he can get a maid, he can get people, he can pay their bills.
Ladies, can you guys hear that, ladies? All the he retired me, sorry sir, all the he retired me, and I'm now he made me a stay-at-home wife kind of women. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I want anyway. All right, go on, sir.
Yeah. So actually, the way it is what the court looks at goes beyond. We are just struggling to have custody. So the court also, in most cases, if the man is not available, the court can still award it to the wife, and then award the monetary relief in favor of the wife, that the man should pay their rent, the man should do this, the man should do that.
That's only if the man is not available, Abi.
No, if the man is available, and maybe because of his nature of work, or his attitude, if he's an alcoholic, if the wife can prove that he's not a responsible man, if the man is a flex, if it's such a man that is not responsible, the wife will see, with a very good lawyer, they can still make a case. Yet the man will be compelled to maintain them. And they even say this to women that have been disadvantaged. It is possible that you have lived with a man all your life, and then the man, you built a house together and now drove you out. If you have a very good lawyer, you can still maintain a good case against the man in court. In the sense that because there is a law, there is a case law, I can't remember it offhand now. There is a case law in Nigeria that was decided, where a man and woman, when they are married together, and they built a house together, that woman has an input in the house. She has a contribution in that house. Even though she was a full housewife, she has an input in that house. There is a particular case. So if the woman is to go out, one way or the other, the man is to adequately settle that woman, compensate her, give her some money. I'm trying to remember that case, but I believe maybe by the time I settle down at home, I'll be able to lay my hands on it.
Okay.
How much do you pay how much do you pay a woman for being for a role of sleeping with her husband, for a role of taking care of the children, or being a cook, or being a cleaner, or being the chief planner of the house? How do you quantify the contribution of that woman in terms of monetary contribution? If the man were to get people to come and render some of those, such services, he knows how much he will have paid. There is a particular case, I can't remember it, but it's not at my finger tip now, but there is a case on that. That's one. And then another. Sorry, I don't want to miss the I'm waiting for a bus.
Okay.
Now, I just have to stay back. The other time when I had to do it, I had to stay back. I allowed the other one to go because I could concentrate a little.
Okay.
Now,
that's okay.
so on the issue of marriage, there are things, there's what we call maintenance and alimony. Even where a woman does not really have strong case against the man, if she doesn't have much, she can still ask for maintenance and alimony. Because if a woman has been living with you, she's not working because of you, or she's working, she's not working, she's not working at full capacity. Maybe she's just doing expecting work, and now you want her to go. You must pay maintenance and alimony. The man must pay her bills to a large extent. So, because if he has been the one taking care of the feeding, taking care of many things in the house. I know the man wants to leave the wife, then he must be ready to pay, to continue to foot some bills, even when you don't live under the same roof. So I don't know if there's any other question.
What if there are so many others? I think, okay, is it that you're busy, Abi? You want to?
So we can be talking. I'm in the bus now, so
Okay.
but we can be talking.
Okay.
You can take the next one.
Okay. So this case of alimony, does this only happen when the woman did not work or was not working at the time, right? Is it just for women who do not have jobs? I think his network went bad.
Make everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Make everybody just like what he's telling us is the law, but then there's also reality. So make everybody remember, say, the money, sometimes the money it will cost you. Remember, if your husband is not Jay-Z and does not have Jay-Z money, the money it will cost you to get a lawyer and try to get what is rightfully yours under the law, sometimes
Okay.
can
Welcome
be more
back.
than what the court will award you.
Barrister, are you there? Barrister, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Your network had gone off.
Yes, I heard what our sister just said. You know, the advice is for those that have issues, maybe that their marriages can no longer work. Me, I will never encourage anybody to pull out unless you have tried your best and involve some stakeholders and see how things can work. Me, I'm an advocate of marriage, and I also like to encourage men because
we don't have men. We don't have men here.
Okay, so, no. The issue is, you know, some people they do things out of ignorance. It's when their eyes are now clear that they will now begin to regret. Some they have lost virtuous women before they now realize their errors and all that. Some they have. I know of stories that the man will just grandstand at the end of the day. He will regret everything. So for women, I know women they are more vulnerable. I know that one, but as much as we know we have our rights, we can seek help. We have people who do pro bono matters. Like me also, by the grace of God, I assist people in the little way I can. Some that I cannot really assist them directly. I just give them the right information on what to do. Like in the case of a woman that the husband was being abusive, I was able to assist her, to go to a place where she got justice. NAPTIP. She got help there. She's free today. So the man can no longer beat her. The man can no longer oppress her or maltreat her anymore. She's got her peace. So a man that could bring guests to their house to come and have sex in the same. You see, let me not just go into details. So there are in some cases lawyers can be of help. If a lawyer does not want to go to court, there are information a lawyer can give that can be very helpful. So I don't know if there's any other question I can respond to, please.
Okay. We actually have considered the issue of reconciliation, mediation, and all that before in the past. But today, I think we are more interested in women just knowing the boundaries of their rights, where they have rights. Let them just know that they have those rights. You understand? Yes. So in Nigeria, right, aside from physical abuse, does the law recognize emotional abuse?
As long as you can prove a form of abuse, even neglect is a form of abuse. I hope you know.
Yeah.
that, there are men that when they are not happy with their wives, you can do without touching them for months. So it's a form of abuse. It's a torture, psychological, emotional, and all that. Some, the way they can abuse somebody. So these are issues that, as long as you can prove before the court that this is what is happening. Some, they send nasty messages and all that. So this, provided you can prove.
So how do you prove emotional abuse? How do you prove that? Like, give us examples if you can.
When you talk of emotional abuse, for instance now, somebody calls somebody names. There are men, they run down their wives, even in presence of their children. Some of them will say, no good fellow. Some of them will call them useless. So going to court means you have somebody there can say, I witnessed it too. I did it. I was there. It was right in my presence. That's what we call evidence. Evidence, it doesn't have to be documentary. It doesn't have to be a video recording. It can be somebody who witnessed it. It can be somebody, even in some cases, if a woman is going through something and she's always telling somebody, this is what my husband did. The man slapped me, the man did this. If there's somebody that the woman is always discussing with, such a person can still come to court and say, oh, I knew when she was going through all those things. Yes, she was always coming to me. In fact, the person can even mention dates and all that. So that's what we mean by evidence. That's what we mean by evidence.
Okay.
So, there are for some, they even detest emotional abuse more than physical abuse, because emotional abuse can run someone down. You now begin to have low self-esteem. You just wonder if there's anything good about you. It's even worse. So none is okay. Both all are wrong. But the emotional abuse is even worse than the physical abuse. Because some, they cannot even deliver. They now begin to hate themselves. Some, they begin to have mental health issues just because of what the man keeps saying to them.
Okay. So, like, are there any form of punishment for emotional abuse? Like, we know physical abuse, the person can be jailed, right? So is there any form of punishment for that one? By the law?
For emotional abuse, it depends. Actually, it depends on the nature of the abuse.
Okay.
For me, my own position on, I wouldn't encourage somebody to say you want to file a criminal charge. If you are married, you've been married to somebody or been in a relationship with somebody, no matter what the person has done, the best way you can do is just let them go. If they now go to prison and your children are grown tomorrow, someone will tell them it was their mom that sent their father to prison.
Yeah, that's okay. I think I don't have a problem with my children finding out that I sent their father to prison. But the thing is there within the law, right?
Yeah, the side effects.
No, I'm not even worried about the side effects right now. I just want to know, is there any punishment for emotional abuse within the law? That's what
if you can substantiate abuse, and you can also substantiate what to suffer, just like for instance now, I'm sure some of us were aware of all this issue of cyber bullying and all that.
Yeah.
There are men that will send. I know of a man that sent things about his wife to social media, circulated on WhatsApp, and those things were not true about this. The woman to a pub, dragged her on the floor, snapped her picture when she was, not properly dressed because of the beating, and sent the picture with all the hair. I sent it online that this is my wife in one of our episodes, whereas the woman did not have any form of mental issue or mental challenge. The man just to rubbish and destroy the woman. So a woman like that, now, do you think she doesn't have a case against the man? So it depends on the nature of the abuse itself and the kind of evidence that you have. So if a man has used some words against you and it's in print, why not? You can challenge them. If you write a petition, the police will investigate. But the issue there is, at the end of the day, we know the way it is in our country. So if the man now goes to prison, what will you gain? Me, I'm interested because if the relationship, if you are no longer going to be together, you should have some benefits so that you don't lose. You lose, from both ends. So if the man is going, at least there should be some compensation in terms of monetary compensation that you can say this is what, at least this is what I gain. We see in other climate that things we have
personally, I don't even have a problem because for some people, getting that form of revenge gives them peace, right? So that peace is probably what they want to gain and all because yeah, that's okay. If you come back here, don't come back here.
You can actually get a number of things. If you go the way of criminal law, you are able to prove those things and decide effect on you. You can get. The court can even order that a test should be conducted on you. You can be asked to see an expert for proper medical examination to ascertain your mental health, that you're okay and all that. The man will pay the bills and all that. And then if you want to maintain a kind of civil action against him for the words he has used against you, for instance, now, a woman is having problem because of the way the husband was talking to her, running her down at home, and then she's now having issues at work to the extent that she was relieved of her job because she was no longer herself. She's lost in thought when they are talking to her at work. She can no longer concentrate. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. There are women that what they go through affects them. Some of them will be crossing the road and the car will, continue to, blow the horn. They cannot even hear because their mind is far gone because of the abuse. So if you can substantiate that you have suffered a loss or a damage, maybe you lost your job or because you were driving and you are not even yourself, you had an accident. Those things you can bring the evidence before the court. You can say I've claimed. Even if you even go for hospital for treatment, you are entitled to compensation. In fact, it's much easier if you have your psychologist your psychologist or your psychotherapist that you've been saying over the issue, that can even give some letters that the lawyer can use in court, to get you some compensation. So why not? You can.
Okay. But that's only if you can substantiate it.
You must have suffered something to be entitled to compensation. You understand? So
yes.
if I abuse you now and it didn't mean anything to you, you cannot say you have suffered anything. I'm sure you know the case in Nigeria now. That case that is popular. The old man is saying he has suffered something because of what somebody did. You understand? So now that's the idea of the law. You must have proved that this thing that this person did has affected me this way, has affected my self-esteem. I've suffered some loss or losses. You understand? And both criminal and civil, you can still maintain an action and you still gain something.
All right, thank you very much. So the next question is, can a woman deny a man access to his kids? Because first off, is there any concept of child support in Nigeria? Is there a provision for child support in the Nigerian law?
Okay, let me put it this way. Something about the law in Nigeria that we must understand is, as long as that man is the father of that child, you cannot deny the man access to his children, even when he's not in custody of the children. If you do it, if the man is a good man, he will just ignore you. He will not bother you. But if it's a man that is a troublesome person, he will use all the means to gain access to the children or even retrieve them from you. So even when the two of you are at loggerheads, the best you can do is you make an arrangement as to when he can see them. So you arrange maybe in a particular place, the time and all that. A father has a right to see his children.
So that's the law. That's the law in Nigeria.
That's the law. Yes, that's the law in Nigeria.
So even if he does not pay child support, even if he doesn't pay child support, right?
Was such, or the only instance in which the court may frown at that is if seeing the children will have a negative impact on them. Maybe a man has done bad thing to his own children before that really hurts them. That seeing them we aggravate things, we compound issues. So it's in extreme case. So the law will always allow a man to see his children. Even the same thing goes for a woman. A woman cannot be denied access to her children.
So what if
She
the
cannot
man
be denied
has
access to her children.
what if the man has sexually abused the child before? Does he still have the right to see his
That is
children?
what I'm saying now. That is the point I mentioned earlier. If the man has done something, that is when the law will now forbid him from